Welcome to step 2 of the video tutorial. This covers rolling, cutting out, and baking your gingerbread dough. In this video, I take you through all the steps, but please print out under the baking instructions and the link that comes with this tutorial. You'll want to print that out because it takes you through step by step and it clearly explains in order what you need to do. And you can follow along there. All right, by now you've made your dough and you've chilled it overnight and you are ready to bake your pieces. These are the things you'll need for this step. These right here are my flat sheets. You'll want to wrap those in aluminum foil, but you'll want a flat one because you will be rolling your gingerbread dough, and you'll need your flour and you'll need your cookie cutters. What sets these apart that were the most exciting thing to me as a child were the windows. In the pattern you see, there are spots just as suggestions where you can place windows. And this is where you can let your creativity go wild. It's so fun. So I've got things of different sizes here. Stars, you can do a gingerbread man. It's the cutest thing. Sometimes I next to each other as windows. You can cut extra pieces of dough out, be creative, make window shutters. The sky's the limit to your creativity. So I've got my cookie cutters here. Then you need to get what you want to put inside your windows ready for the second half of baking them. For 30 years we've used Lifesavers, and how they package them now, they're like 90% red that come out of the Lifesavers packs, and it gets a little boring. Well, this year I'm using Jolly Ranchers, and you can see that I have tried to favor the color green and the light watermelon pink color. I wish I had found some yellows. Those are fun, bright too. Basically, you want to choose lighter colors so the light can penetrate through. I only put like 1 or 2 purples in there because they just look like globs. These I found work better than Lifesavers. You also need your patterns. I'm using my mother's recipes. This is why it's so cool. Once you have the dough recipe, you can do your own thing. If you see another pattern you like, I'm doing the one you see in the pictures. It's the whimsical look. It's a fake roof. So if that's what you're adamant about and you want it all edible, then you would need to use like a standard basic template you can find online that comes with the straight roofs. But I love the snow roof and the icicles, and so I use cardboard to make the roof, and the rest is all edible. My mother's original recipe was this size. I like to decorate the front of it with all sorts of types of candy, and I've noticed it was hard to fit it all in. So the past 2 years, I enlarged it. I'm venturing out again, and I have blown it up another 15% larger. And here also, just to remind that you can make sleighs. When you roll your gingerbread, you're going to notice that you have a lot of space in between your walls or your doors. That is when it's so fun to take little cookie cutters like this and make little men. And you can place them around your house, or I've just bought these cookie cutters I'm excited to try this year. The kids love seeing one with like red hots you can put for Rudolph. Okay, let's get started. You'll want to get a Ziploc bag and a meat tenderizer and use the back side of it to crush your Jolly Ranchers or candy you're using inside of the bag. I use this instead of a food processor because food processor tends to get it really small sometimes if you let it go too long, and you're going to want to leave it, look at that, nice and chunky for a better stained glass effect. Place a towel or non-skid mat underneath your cookie sheet and then spray it with Pam and then generously flour it. You could use a sieve to get better flour effect, but I know that my house, the backside of my house won't be seen, so I didn't really care if it has all these chunky flour bits. But if you're making a sleigh, you'll want to for sure, you know, make your flour look a little better because people do see the backside of your sleigh pieces. What I'm doing is I'm taking my pattern of my house and just starting to trace it. These are the sides of my home, and I'm making the door, and then I use any extra spaces to make reindeer or gingerbread men or window shutters. And I'm including this clip because this is the first one I did that discovered and helped me discover how to make the best stained glass windows. See, in the sides of the home, I was supposed to lay my cookie cutter to make the windows for the side of the house, but I forgot. So I finished this up and I put it in the oven and I bake it. And then I took it out and discovered, oh my goodness, I forgot windows. So I quickly put cookie cutters in them and Jolly Ranchers and baked it for another 5 to 7 minutes, the remaining time to bake the gingerbread dough, and the windows were beautiful. It is a complete difference, you can tell in this picture, of the houses where I put the Jolly Ranchers in the windows in the beginning of the bake time. So they baked for 15 to 20 minutes, and you could tell that it baked too long. The colors started to all run together. You can't differentiate the colors, and you can even start to see bubbles on the star, a clear sign that it baked too long. I am sure grateful for that mistake of mine, because I feel we have somewhat mastered now and perfected the art of stained glass gingerbread window making. And you can see from my children's gingerbread houses that we made from a little mold that we really got it down by the end, and their windows were so much better than mine. I was kind of jealous. Here's more footage of some of the house pieces I was cutting out. I forgot to mention that it's nice to have a bowl to put your scraps as you go, and you're gonna want to put the dough back in the refrigerator. It gets soft if you leave it out too long. So work kind of fast, and when you initially start, you divide your batch in half. So half of a batch will be able to be spread out on one cookie sheet. And then put the rest in the fridge, and then get another tray out to roll your second half of the batch. So a brief summary of the step 2 in the tutorial is that you'll want to have everything ready. You'll have a greased and floured cookie sheet covered in aluminum foil. You'll have your cookie cutters, and you'll have your pattern already printed and ready. Plus, you'll have your candy for the windows already crushed to use. Then get your dough out, and you can turn your oven on to 350. Roll it out to 1/4 to 1/3 inch thick. Cut around your patterns. Do not forget to make a door and window holes before baking it the first time. Bake it for 13 to 15 minutes, and then take it out and add your crushed candy to the window areas and holes. Put it back in for another 5 to 7 minutes, or as soon as you see it change from chunky bits of candy into a smooth, glassy surface. And that's it. Let them rest on those cookie sheets overnight, and you can decorate them tomorrow.